wrong or flawed or problematic about your attachment, about our attachment style. We kind of hear the words anxious and avoidant, shut down, shame filled, and we can tend to sort of project certain negative presumptions about that. What I think that you will hear researchers and counselors who talk about attachment, they will say that within every attachment style, there's a spectrum. There's a healthier end, and there's an unhealthy end. And a part of being aware is about having us to operate at the more secure end or at the healthier end of the spectrum of our particular attachment style. And I think awareness for that is really going to be critically key. You know, one of the things about anxious attachment spirituality, and we'll sort of talk more about that next week, and you kind of alluded to it, Kia, and is that sometimes when people have an anxious form of spirituality and an anxious and a shame-filled approach to spirituality, there is this sort of sense of losing something. And I think that it's worth you spending time exploring what are the sort of historical experiences that you have in your own journey in life around losing something, because what the anxious attachment person, anxious spirituality person, they don't want to lose. You use the phrase lose your salvation. And so you think, oh, I got to do more to like really secure my walk with God. I got to make sure I'm in there, you know, on Wednesdays. I got to make sure I'm in there, you know, on Sundays. I got to, you know, I missed the service. I got to make sure you know, it's just kind of, I got to read more scriptures. I've got to make sure I'm praying, you know, 3 times a day. And the issue is not that those things aren't good, but we don't have a works-based spirituality. It's really kind of like what I shared on Sunday. When I shared this Sunday sermon was entitled, I Know Who I Am. And Jesus really models for us the notion of embodiment rather than the notion of being. Here's what I was going to wait for this, and we're going to get to Sherry. I see Sherry has her hand raised. I want all of you to look at this scripture. It's Deuteronomy 31, verse 6. I think this scripture for me really kind of taps into what I think is underneath anxiety and shame. Deuteronomy 31, verse 6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." Now, one of the things that anxious types are looking for is a sense of security in another person. That could be in a friend, a family member, a relationship, a coworker. They're looking for security in the person, in the relationship. And they can feel anxious because, you know, if the person leaves, goes on a business trip, person goes to work, you know, they sort of fear like, they're okay as long as the person's there, but then the person's not there. They got to text them 10 times a day. They need that reassurance from another person. Here's what I want to say. I think that the key to anxiety is to realize that our security is to be found in God, not a person. Mm-hmm. Our security is to be found in God, not your husband, not your wife, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your mother, not your father. These are important people who are designed